Professor Black Ops, you see it. Let's get it. SSH Putty. Hackers put a backdoor in it. Using Putty. Hackers probably on your network. So once again, let's hit the quick article. Always some hackers never sleep. Once again, be safe in these cybersecurity streets. Hackers Trojanize PuTTY SSH client to a backdoor media company. North Korea hackers are Trojanizing versions of PuTTY SSH client to deploy backdoor on targets devices as part of a fake Amazon job assessment. So if you see a Amazon job assessment, be careful; it could be fake. A novel element in this campaign is using a Trojanized version of PuTTY and KiTTY SSH utility to deploy a backdoor, which in this case is AIRDRY.v2. You see it right there. But everybody know PuTTY and PuTTyGen is used throughout the IT and technical world. According to Mandiant technical report today, the threat cluster responsible for this campaign is UNC 4034, aka Temp.Hermit or Labyrinth Chollima. The group's latest activities appear to be in continuation of Operation Dream Job, a campaign which has been going on since June 2020, this time targeting media companies. In July 2022, during the proactive threat hunting activities at the company in the media industry, Mandiant Defense identified a novel spear phishing methodology employed by the threat cluster tracked UNC 4034. Using PuTTY SSH client to drop malware. The attack starts with the threat actors approaching the targets via email with the lucrative job offer at Amazon. Then takes communication to WhatsApps where they share an ISO file, Amazon assessment.iso. So number one, if you all of a sudden get a lucrative job offer and you haven't been getting those, and they want you to go to WhatsApp, right? I'm not going to WhatsApp for a job interview, right? For me, that's the telltale sign. The IS included a text file, readme text containing the IP address and login credentials, and Trojanized version of putty.exe, a very popular open source SSH console application. Bleeping computers also where the threat actor using impersonating the KiTTY SSH client. That's a fork of PuTTY using the file name Amazon kitty.exe. While it's unclear what discussions occurred between the threat actor and the victim, the hackers likely told the victim to open up the ISO, use the enclosed SSH tools or credentials, connect to a host, and perform a skills assessment. Skills assessment for job interviews are quite common. So there's the README, give you the username and password. However, the PuTTY shared by the hackers was modified to include a malicious payload in its data section, making the tampered version significantly larger than the legitimate version. As PuTTY executable was compiled with the legitimate program, it's fully functional and looks exactly like the legitimate version. So that's the fake version right here. Once again, it's got the PuTTY. Just looking at it, I would say, whoop, what's good? Once again, that's the Trojanized PuTTY provided by Mandiant. Shout out to Mandiant. So if I'm looking at this, just logging in, all of that, like they said, is standard for PuTTY. However, the hackers modified to connect to host function so that on the SSH successful connection and close the credentials. The program deploys a malicious Dave Shell shellcode payload in the form of a DLL called Color UI, which wouldn't stand out. So to make the launch of the shellcode stealthy, the malicious PuTTY users a search order hijacking vulnerability color CPL exe, the legitimate Windows color management tool to load the malicious DLL. Dave Shell operates as a dropper of the final payload into the AIRDRY v2 backdoor malware, which is executed directly in memory, right? So there it is right there. So you connect, you get your job assessment. Victim attempts to connect to the assessment with the backdoor PuTTY. The PD pack DLL right there. You get the Dave Shell loaded in memory with the virus. It drops the backdoor in. Then it calls the command and control server there. And once again, you're hacked. Right there, backdoor hacked on that server, Windows, iPad, right? AirDev can communicate via HTTP, file, SMB over a named pipe. trying to connect to one of the three hard-coded CC2 address 5 times before going to 60-second sleep. So the command and control server, there's 5 hard-coded in there. While the backdoor has been technically capacity, uses a proxy server and monitor for active RDP sessions. The version examined by Mandiant has these features disabled by default. The commands supported by AIRDRY are the following 9. Upload basic system, update the beacon interval, deactivate it until new start, upload the current configurations, update the configurations, keep alive, update the beacon internally based on the volume configurations, update the AES key used by an encrypted C2 server, download and execute the plugin in memory. So the key features are it's running the virus in memory, and I like they use AES to encrypt the connection to the bad guy server, right? So since it's encrypted, your software won't be able to read it or see it, right? Compared to the previous version of AIRDRY, the new variant supports fewer commands, but the plugin executes in memory and updating the AES key for the communications or new capabilities. Yeah, I picked that up when I saw it. Those are two excellent from a cybersecurity perspective, trying to figure that out, catch that from a blue team perspective. Reduce the number of supported commands doesn't impact the backdoor versatility because fetching the plugins from the C2 opens up new potential for far more surgical attacks. To check the Trojanized version of PuTTY, you can look at the properties of the executable and make sure it is digitally signed by Simon Thiem. Unfortunately, legitimate KiTTY program is not normally assigned by the developer and should instead be uploaded to a virus scanner service, such as Virus Total, to check for malicious detection. So you're getting all your program scanned by Virus Total, which is open source, is a good thing. Hopefully they start signing their code so you can use that check also. Once again though, SSH PuTTY has been hacked. It's a backdoor. It's dropping malware on your servers. Be careful out there. This is Professor Black Ops. Please subscribe.